This video is for all the small channel creators out there. Do not give up. Today I am sharing with you 10 lessons that I've learned from being on YouTube for 1 year. I have my notes here to help me remember all 10 of the lessons, okay? So the first one is the small channel curse. I know I've watched a lot of videos where they give you advice about starting your channel, and a lot of them will say there is no such thing as a small channel curse, and they're trying to debunk that myth. But having experienced it firsthand, I can tell you, yes, there is. There is such a thing. And the reason for that is because the algorithm is taking cues from the activity in the comments and the likes. And for a small channel, that's a big problem, because you may put out a video and then have a couple of people comment on the first day, let's say, and then on the second day or the third day you may not get any comments because it's just such a small channel and there's few views. So it's hard to get the comments to keep coming in. And the problem with that is the algorithm, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you can tell that when the comments stop coming in, all of a sudden the view count stops. It's like it plateaus and then it gets completely stuck at that same exact number. Like you won't even get a single additional view. You keep looking the following week, the following month, and you're just stuck at that exact number. So it must mean that they're not really showing the video anymore, because the algorithm has determined that there's no activity on that video. So I'm guessing that once you become a bigger channel, there's always some flux, because there's so many views that you still are going to get 1 or 2 comments per day, and that's going to keep the video in circulation. So yes, there is, in my opinion anyway, a small channel curse. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second lesson that I've learned this year is that people tend to like lists. So in other words, if I publish a video on a specific topic, if it's something like a specific book that I'm talking about or a specific topic that I'm interested to share, I may not get a lot of views. But as soon as I turn it into a list, so instead of saying Victorian literature, if I change it to top 10 Victorian authors that I like or something like that, then all of a sudden you can see the views shoot up. So if you are just starting out on YouTube, I would definitely recommend trying to turn whatever you're trying to say into some type of list of the top 5 things or the top 10 things or the 10 tips, or however you could turn it into a list. That's the way to go, because that's what's worked for me anyway. The third lesson is that time is a factor. Now, this will also depend on the niche that you pick. So for example, I'm in the book niche. I'm always talking about books that I'm reviewing or lists of books that I enjoyed. And for my niche, for whatever reason, because some of it depends on people searching for it. For example, you might have to wait until one person starts searching for a specific author, comes across my video, and then comments on it, and then more people are shown the video based on that comment, and it kind of takes off from there. So I would say it depends on the niche, but most of the time is a factor. In other words, within that first week, if you don't get the number of views you were hoping for, sometimes you still have to wait, because I would say probably at least 2 or 3 of my videos didn't do very well the first week, but then a month later, all of a sudden it started taking off and I got like hundreds of additional views that popped up. So I feel like sometimes you have to give it time, and you're not able to just judge after that first week whether or not your video did well or not. So you may have to be a little bit patient, and also gauge how long you may have to wait depending on your niche. So if your niche is not a super popular niche, such as making money on YouTube or how to blow up on YouTube, then if it's something a little bit more hyper specific, then you may have to wait a month or 2 before you can tell if the video did well. So that's another lesson that I learned, because I didn't expect it at all. When my video that hadn't been doing well at all of a sudden shot up, I was like, oh, okay, this can happen weeks later. So that's number 3. Now, number 4, the niche community is precious. So what I mean by that is, when I was deciding what niche to pick, I could have picked a number of different things. So I'm an immigrant, so I could have talked about the whole immigration process. I'm originally from France, so I could have talked about all things French. I'm in the medical field, so I could have done something more medical. I could have talked about switching jobs, because I did that a lot. All different types of things, types of niches that I could have picked. But I decided to pick BookTube as my niche because I love reading. And in retrospect, I feel like I'm very glad that I picked this niche, because the niche ends up becoming your community. So the people that are commenting on the videos, that are attracted to your videos, are obviously the people that are into that niche. So all the people that I've met virtually on this platform and had interactions and conversations with have been people that are interested in reading books. So that's a beautiful thing for me, because I don't really encounter book readers in real life. So having this BookTube community has been a true gift for me. The next one is, you have to keep in mind your content is unique. So as a new content creator, you always have this anxiety that, oh, wait a minute, a lot of people have already made a video about this topic. And although that may be true, don't worry about it, okay? Because what you have to say about a specific topic is going to be delivered with your specific, unique style. And it's going to be delivered from your unique perspective. And every human on the planet has a unique way of looking at a problem. So what you end up saying will be unique. So trust that what you have to say is unique, and go for it and say what you need to say. Don't worry about, oh, but somebody else already made a video about that topic. That's an important lesson that I learned, because I used to always look at all these different videos about this book that I wanted to talk about, and I was like, oh, but so many people have already talked about it. But then when I would click on them, I would realize, oh no, that's not at all what I was going to say about that book. And that, my opinion is so different. So trust the process and go for it. That's my advice. The next lesson is number 6. Necessity is the mother of invention. So for that one, what I mean by that is, when you first get started on YouTube, you will be worried about, oh, should I purchase some specific equipment? Should I have all these things in place before I even start? And the truth is, you don't need to do anything. The process will organically fall into place. So in other words, if you need better lighting, you'll figure out some tips and tricks to add the light later, or to fix the video so that there's more brightness to it. If you need better editing software, you'll look for it and find it as you go. So I wouldn't recommend trying to have everything in place before you go. Just get started with something really basic, like just a phone and the free editing software like iMovie. And then from there, you can make small adjustments and small improvements as you go. And those will be informed by whatever problems you end up having or issues you run into. So you will organically find your groove later on. Don't worry about it. Number 7, I just wanted to mention the specific software tools that I use, just in case it's helpful to you. So for editing, I use iMovie just because it's free software. And it's been pretty good so far. I had an issue with memory recently, but I looked at a YouTube video about it, and basically what they were saying is you can create a new library every time you make a new project, and that makes that memory issue go away. The second thing is Placeit is a website that I use. It is a paying membership, but I find that it was worth it for me because I was able to create my logo intro with Placeit, and I've also been doing my thumbnails with Placeit. So the issue I was having with Canva was there was a problem with the formatting. So I would make my thumbnail on Canva, and then by the time I uploaded it to YouTube, it would shrink it or it would cut off the top, and it ended up being annoying. And it looked like if you wanted to resize it, you had to upgrade to the paying version. So I ended up kind of abandoning Canva because of that glitch. The other one is Envato, E-N-V-A-T-O. So that one I just recently signed up for. It is also a paying membership, but I find that that kind of takes my videos to the next level because I can add music and I can add B-rolls. So when you're ready, I think Envato is a good investment. Okay, the next lesson is number 8, the 5-second rule. Yes, if you watch YouTube videos where they give you advice, a lot of them are saying pay attention to your hook. The first 5 seconds of the video is a very important time in the video. And I do feel like that's so true. And for my niche, it has been a huge hurdle because it's really hard to get people hooked when it has to do with classic literature. People, I don't know, it's like you're not telling them that they're gonna get rich quick. You're not telling them that something amazing and groundbreaking is going to happen. You're just talking about a book, and it's hard to have this attention-grabbing, crazy hook that will pull people in. But please let me know in the comments if you think of anything that a booktuber could do to fix that problem of the 5-second rule and to get people excited about classic literature. Let me know, okay? The next one is number 9, doing the research on the umbrella terms. So that is something I came across over and over when I was watching videos about the process of getting ready to pick a topic for your video and to make your video. And they were saying look for the umbrella terms. So what that means is, let's say I'm making a video about Charles Dickens, right? And I'm trying to see, well, what sort of videos about Charles Dickens have gone viral or have been very popular. So I might type into my search engine Charles Dickens and see which videos are popping up. But what if I only see 2 or 3 videos and they haven't done very well? Well, the trick is to find umbrella terms. So for Charles Dickens, an umbrella term might be Victorian literature, 19th century literature, British literature, something that includes Charles Dickens as well as lots of other things, right? So that's what I recommend you do, because if you find these umbrella terms and then you search those, you may find that the term Victorian literature is something that creates a lot of viral videos that people have a lot of interest in and that people search for. So you might want to do that. You might want to zoom out and have a topic that's a little bit more general, just so you can get to that audience and make your video be more likely to get picked up by the algorithm and suggested to more people. So that was lesson number 9. And then the final lesson is viral trends, the view to subscriber ratio. So this is a concept that I've come across many times by watching all these videos where they tell you how to do your research so you can figure out which topic is the right topic to talk about so that your video becomes more popular. And essentially what it is let's say I'm doing a cozy vlog and I'm trying to see if cozy vlogs are popular. So I'll type in cozy vlog New York City bookstores and I'll see a bunch of videos. For each video, what I'm looking at is how many views for the video compared to how many subscribers does that channel have. So if the channel only has 100 subscribers but the video has 1,000 views, that's a 10-to-1 view to subscriber ratio, right? And so that's a clue that that's a good topic. That's something that people are going to want to click on, people are going to want to watch it. So that's an important metric to look at. And I know a lot of these videos, they give you tips. They tell you go to the YouTube studio, look at this metric and that metric. And I have to say, I get a little bit confused with all these different metrics. But this one is fairly easy because it's right there when you're watching the video. You can see both the number of views and the number of subscribers that channel has. So you get that metric right away. So it's fairly easy to do. I have found it to be true even from my channel. There was a couple of videos where if you look at my subscriber count, which is currently about 200, and those videos have 900 views. So it's more than 4 to 1 in terms of the ratio. So for me, that's what would be considered going viral, right? So I don't even have 1,000 views on those videos, and still they are considered viral for my size. Okay guys, I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys in the next video.